It's Thursday, March 26th on the Auburn Torch. We're talking about the Mount Rushmore of coaches in Alabama. Any Auburn ones on that list, surely? Let's get into that and everything else going on with Auburn Olympic sports this weekend. Continuing the conversation. Hold on, my mic arm just jumped out of its socket. There we go. Continue. Is there like a? Can I screw this tighter? I don't know. I installed a printer over here, and it's my whole desk situation. My mic arm is coming off the hinge. Continuing the conversation on Twitter, the world's worst website. Next Round posted this. If you're listening, audio listeners. You know, what's your state of Alabama coaching Mount Rushmore, which is nowhere near as fun as athletes Mount Rushmore, but obviously it's got on here Nick Saban, Bruce Pearl, Bear Bryant, Pat Dye. And just to throw a grenade on the conversation, just for fun, how about Dave Marsh, Auburn swimming? I believe I just looked it up, and I believe the number was 13 men's national championships and 5 women's national championships. Come on. He's on there, right? And then my dark horse, just to get people talking, UAH Chargers hockey coach, Doug Ross. He was there for all of it. And, and then obviously I didn't think about it, and I got in the replies. Joe Champy, also a dark horse. 6 Elite Eights, 3 Final Fours. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you know what? When you cut, because first of all, he has more Final Fours than BP. But when you look at the graphic, right? Who's the weak link, right? You might love BP, but no national championship there. 2 Final Fours, and this is the thing. This was my argument with UAH, right? It's like. The argument is that he did a great job building from nothing and did a great job at not a basketball school, right? And so hey, if BP's in the conversation, which he may well be, I'm not saying he's not, then what about, hey, how about this this UAH hockey guy, right? And then Bryce goes, the Alabama gymnastics coach who won the national. He's talking about Sarah Patterson, 6 national championships. Well, come on, Bryce. What about that? What about the Chargers? Show some love to the Chargers. Well, he specifically said makes more sense than club hockey. They won 2 D2 Division II national championships, and then made it to Division I. And this is my argument: they were a club hockey team, got so good they played Division II. Won 2 Division II national championships. I mean, how many programs have existed down the road at Tuskegee forever without winning national championships, right? 2 Division II national championships, and then made it to Division I, and not only made it to Division I, made it to the NCAA tournament. I mean, didn't win the NCAA tournament, but still made it to the Division I. It's all from scratch, right? So if you're giving BP credit, there you go. There's another one. There could be many more. There could be many, many more. This is off the cuff. It is Thursday, March 26th. As you listen to this, this is another nighttime pre-record. I do not have the softball score. I'm very sorry. I can include it in the email, I guess. But yeah, got a tight schedule in the morning, so we're doing this, getting it going tonight. I don't know, the way forward in future. Especially once baby gets a little more mobile, might be that I record. It would be later than this. This is like 7 p.m. But I could record it like literally like 9, 10, 11, like after the last thing is done. And that way I could put it out at like 6 a.m. This is out at 6 a.m. If you are listening, most likely, if you're listening, it's probably already up, 5 to follow. That'll be coming up shortly after this episode on auburntorch.com. Got some good stuff there for you to follow for this weekend. A pretty busy weekend, not as busy as it has been, but that includes Uros Zivanovic for men's swimming, who is takes the 11th place seed time into the 100-yard breaststroke at NCAA Men's Championships. That's how you follow that. We got a little equestrian in there. We got a little tennis going on. We got a little softball going on. So check out 5 to Follow on auburntorch.com or, social media in general. Or your email inbox. Today, Thursday, as you're listening, this is a 4-day stretch of tennis. Tennis is at Yarborough every single day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The women on Thursday and Saturday, and the men the other days. If the weather's nice, man, I highly recommend going out and checking it out, because outdoors is just a better viewing situation. There's like a hill you can like spread out and see every court. If you're indoors, you can watch court 1, which is very exciting, but that's pretty much all you can see. Equestrian this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Semifinals on Friday, the finals on Saturday, going for an SEC championship. And then obviously Auburn softball is back in conference, so they're 2-4 in conference, but that includes an OU Road Series, which is behind them. Who amongst us isn't going 0-3 in that OU Road Series, right? So that's behind them, and now, if they can just put that one in the rear view, should be able to start clawing back toward 500 and above 500 in SEC play this weekend. So yeah. What else? What else are we looking at? Let's see. Oh yeah, the conversation. This is what it was. The conversation we were having yesterday kind of spilled into the comment section. I won't read Oliver's entire comment about SEC women's basketball, but he did make a point. And if you're a video, here it is blown up for you. Check it out. If you're on video, if you're on audio, I don't want to read this whole comment, but you can check it out at auburntorch.com. He made a point though that really made me think, and that is that, and this might not have even been his big point, but this is one of the things I took away from what he said, is it has been frustrating to watch Auburn women's basketball for the last 10 to 15 years, have not a good offense. And I think that's a very fair criticism. And I think if you sat down Coach Flo and Johnny Harris and even Larry after year 1 here, and you put the lasso truth on them or whatever, the truth serum, they'd be like, yeah, our idea, the idea is, how can you win at Auburn, getting the recruits that Auburn can get against the opposition that Auburn has to face in the SEC, right? And the idea is to play knockdown, drag out, tough defense first and win rock fights, right? And that makes sense. That makes sense as a good idea. It makes sense as a good idea. And that may be the only way to win right now at Auburn in the landscape of things. But after what? 14 years of it? 15 years of it? Since Nell? In what, 09? After so much of rock fights? Hey man, maybe Auburn fans would like to see some offense. You know what I mean? And listen, again, that's no knock on, does that mean Larry should change his whole thing? Does that mean Larry should be a different person? Does that mean Auburn should have hired a different person? No, not at all. If you put the true serum in me, how do you win at Auburn? Yeah, hey, so play lockdown defense and hope you win 41-40. That's what I would do. That's what anyone would do, right? But is it taking a toll on the fan base? I don't know. And then of course, this is wild talk again, and feel free to jump in with what you think in the comments, because it can go any direction you say. Because again, it's like, oh well. Hey man, the money, you want it to look a little good before you throw a bunch of money at it, right? And then the other side is you need a bunch of money in order to look a little good, and you don't know which one's first, and you don't know what is which. And then it's also like, oh well, if you won, the fans would show up a lot, but wasn't the case in the old days. Wasn't even the case in 08, from what I heard. You know what I mean? They were there for that Tennessee game in 08, and that's it, right? They were around. It was not the jungle it is now, right? For the men. And maybe things have changed so much that maybe once you did have that success in 2026, that it would be packed out. I honestly believe that. I do believe that Auburn fans would be a bit more receptive to it in 2026 than 2008. I mean, the SEC network is on, like, you know, and women's basketball has had such a pop because of Caitlin and everything else. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's so many different ways. You know, I put in my reply, like, would it take a Clark-esque superstar, you know, not of that level, but would it take someone who can really be face of the program, like, boom, star, face of the program, scoring 30 points a game, 35 points. Could that excite people? You know, like, I don't know what it would take. And obviously the idea right now is they just want to win more, and there's no shame in that. And there's no shame in winning however you can. And right now defense is the most attainable, like, getting talent to come and buy in to play crazy defense, you know, in your face, like, effort, wearing other teams out defense that beat nationally ranked Alabama this year, that beat Angel Reese a couple years ago. So I get it. And I'm not even saying, I wouldn't even call for any changes, right? But it's just an interesting conversation. I mean, I would say, you know, I think there's some validity to maybe, like, you know, I didn't even think about, you know, after 3 straight coaches, this defensive first thing. It's like if Georgia Tech had 3 straight triple option football coaches, right? And eventually they're like, man, can we pass the ball? Right? After 16 years? I kind of get it, right? So, I mean, it's just so many layers to it. All Auburn can do is be itself. And again, I've made no secret, you know, in what I've written for OA back in the day. Really, I mean, there is no reason why there are so many things in college sports. There's so many things out there that you get no say in. They don't tell you, they don't ask you about the football coach. They don't ask you about ticket prices. The Congress sure ain't asking about NIL, transfer portal, blah, 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 right? You don't get to say anything. But hey, man, the fact is, if Auburn fans as a collective decided, hey, we're going to show up to women's basketball and we're going to be the hardest place to play, if everyone just overnight flipped that switch, that would be something that they can control. Hey, we're going to be the hardest place to play in college basketball, barring maybe UConn and South Carolina. There's no reason, you know what I mean? Like, that is something that Auburn fans could do. And they, you know, and again, that clicked for softball. Auburn fell in love with softball. Turns out that was not a good situation, right? But Auburn fans did fall in love with softball. So, like, things have clicked, things come in waves. And you know, if Caitlin Clark played at Auburn, I think they'd be there. I do think they'd be there. I don't think it's anything particular about Auburn, about women's basketball in Auburn. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is, but that's just a ramble. More of this conversation. If you want to join, come to auburntorch.com. And man, this is going to be the place. You know, I need to. I should jump on to a little more opinion, a little more sports radio here on Torch Talk. As much as I love to just give the update, and it should be both, right? It should be a little bit of both. The update of what's going on, and then let's talk a little bit, right? And then I want, that's what I want the Torch to be. I want, there's message boards out there, and you post about, gymnastics or something. You don't know what the responses are going to be, right? But if you do it here at the Auburn Torch, when you're talking to Torch subscribers, you're talking to people who are fans of these sports, who are out there, who are of a certain mindset, right? So that's what. Hey, man, let's chime in, join the conversation. Let's let me know what you think. And yeah. So hey, let me go ahead and go. We will recap. We've got one more episode before the weekend, so we will talk again on Friday. We'll be talking about swimming. We'll talk a little bit, hopefully about equestrian. We'll get in there, and obviously tennis. So today, swimming updates. Check out. Hopefully I'll have some on Twitter, just updates on what's going on with swimming, and then women's tennis hosting Mississippi State. Bounce back opportunity for Auburn women. Number 2, Auburn women at 5 p.m. at Yarborough. So until Friday, I'll be back. And yeah, let me know if you've got a comment or anything, and we'll probably talk about it right here. and yeah, we'll keep it going. So until Friday, take care.